Welcome to Real Talk with Real Estate Pros, where we bring you exclusive interviews with the real estate experts. We'll delve deep into their journey to success and learn how to go the extra mile to serve their clients' wants and needs. Let's dive in. Here's your host, John Money McKinley.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Real Talk with Real Estate Pros. Got a great show lined up for you today. Thank you, Zach, always providing me with some great bumper music to get the show started off right. This is going to be a short edition, but I have been getting a lot of questions from clients on what's happening in the world of real estate as far as it comes to buyer's representation and compensation. So I have two experts coming on the show today, James and Lisa Sawyer, who are going to break down for us what is happening in the world of real estate agents, compensation, and what does this mean to potential home buyers. James and Lisa, thank you all for being here today. Sorry about that. I had you on mute. Okay, you're back off mute.
That's all right.
Thank you all for being here today. And like I was telling my audience, one of the big questions that I'm getting is, John, because we now as buyers have to pay the real estate commissions, can't I get a better deal if I just don't use a buyer's representation all? Because I'll be able to go in and do the negotiation and get the better deal. Can you guys give us some insight on that?
Well, first of all, this started in August of 2024. Nora lost a lawsuit where there was some real estate companies in New York and Missouri that were doing unethical things and not explaining the full process to buyers, and they would get to the closing table and find out they would owe tens of thousands of dollars in commission. They lost the lawsuit, so now everybody has to sign a buyer's representation agreement, which gives us the authority to represent you, and it also explains how we earn our commission and what our commission is. They are not obligated to pay our commission whatsoever. That is still paid by the sellers 99% of the time. That's where the big confusion is. And they say, well, we put 3% down. What if you want to negotiate for less? I don't want to pay you 3%. Then I have to explain to them that if the seller's agent asks for the buyer's representation and I have 2% on there, even though they're paying 3%, I only get paid 2%. That is not for you to pay me. That's to make sure they pay us a required commission.
Also, in the state of Texas, when a listing goes online, there's an agreement already in place that the seller and the listing agent has already agreed upon. Whether if it is a 6% with each side getting 3 and 3, if it's a 4% and it's a 2 and 2, or a 5% with 2.5, whatever they've already negotiated, it's already there. So if you're not using a realtor on the buyer side, the listing agent will get that full 6%.
Not only that, they have to do a thing called intermediary, which means the same brokerage has to handle both sides. And a lot of them won't do that because they're not comfortable, because there's too much risk there, too much conflict of interest. It's hard to keep the data and the client separate. It's a big conflict of interest for most brokerages, so a lot of them won't even do it. So probably 40% of the people, if you go to a listing agent because you think you're going to save money and you're going to get that bargain because you don't have to pay commission, that's two false things. You're not going to get anything because it's already negotiated. It's already taken out. And the second thing is they might not even be able to help you because they are not allowed to do that. So now, and they're not going to let you represent yourself. That's another big misconception, that buyers can just represent themselves in a real estate transaction. Well, that's not true, because most brokerages will not take on the responsibility of you trying to navigate a contract without any kind of representation or understanding of the law.
And also, if you are the buyer, you will be responsible for doing your own contract and taking care of everything. Usually, if you're trying to do it on your own and you think you're saving yourself money, the listing agent who's becoming doing both sides, which they have to be a neutral party, and you have nobody in your corner to help support you on anything that you might need.
To an extent, they still support you, but they can't divulge any Like if I represented you and you didn't have to be done by the single, both sides on one agency, I can speak more candidly with you because I don't have to worry about what the other side says or what I tell about the other side. I can be completely open and honest with you without any kind of consequence.
So if I'm understanding you correctly, the seller in 99% of the cases, if not more, is still paying the buyer's compensation. And if I'm understanding you correctly, Lisa, that was already written in an agreement with the seller before their home ever went on the market. Is that correct?
Correct.
So that is there. Whether you decide to be, I'm going to be Mr. Solo and go directly to the seller, it doesn't matter because that's already in the contract. That cost of them selling the home is going to be paid no matter what happens on the buyer's side of things.
That is
Correct.
correct. It also pertains to builders, with new builds too. A lot of people think, oh, I'll just go to the builder and not use a realtor and they'll give me the commission. That's not true either. They've already put that commission into it up front before they ever build a house when they borrow the money to build it and they get the rate lock. So, and a lot of them won't let you represent yourself because once again, there's too much liability because there's too much legal contracts, too much, you don't understand the process and you slow things down and you really make it harder on yourself. You cost yourself money because you don't know what you're doing. And it's free. So why not use somebody that knows what they're doing to represent you?
Exactly. Well, I really, really appreciate you guys coming on here today. And like I was telling everyone, this is a question that I get a lot. Can you two do us a favor? And if there's some people in my audience would love to talk with you and get some insight on what's going on in their own personal life for their real estate decisions, what is the best way that they can reach out to you two?
By phone,
Okay. And what number is that, James?
713-498-9016.
Or you can reach me at 832-434-3253, or you can email us at the Sawyer Realty Group at gmail.com.
Thank you very much. Everyone, I'm going to put this in the comments. I'm going to pin this to the first title or the first comment. I recommend you all reach out to James and Lisa if you have any questions on what your plans are moving forward with real estate. Well, thank you all very much. I'm going to put you all back in the green room, and thank you for coming to another edition of Real Talk with Real Estate Pros. We are here to offer you insight on what is truly happening in the world of mortgages and real estate. Tune in weekly. I'm going to continue to bring you guys great guests who are really going to share with you what's happening in the world of real estate. Thank you.